The book is The Laws of Spirit, A Tale of Transformation by Dan Millman. This is a fictional story about a woman sage that Dan meets while walking up the mountains by his home. She takes him on a journey that teaches him truths for making life work. There are 12 laws of spirit in this short book. It's only 118 pages, and I will touch on each one to give you a sense of what's in the book and the lessons you can learn and apply to your life. Do I suggest you buy your own copy or at least borrow it from the library? Yes, I do. Any book that teaches you lessons that you can use immediately to up level and enhance your life and gives you tools to be of service to others is a darn good book. Okay, here we go. The first law of spirit is the law of balance. Balance begins with the breath. Once you know what true balance feels like, you'll begin to notice what's out of balance in any area of your life. This serves as an automatic signal to you to return to that center peace within. You apply the law of balance by noticing your imbalances. The law of choices. The law of choices tells us that decisions are not made with works, but with actions. You have free will, which means that you can choose to abide by the laws that speak within your deepest intuition, or you can let impulses like fears and habits run the show. The next one is the law of process. Process transforms any journey into a series of small steps, taken one by one to reach any goal. The best goals may be those you can handle in the next week, the next day, the next hours, or the next step. Create a process that yields many small successes. Every process includes repairs. Road to happiness is always under construction. The next one is the law of presence. Whenever you have a problem, it involves something in the past or in the future. You keep problems alive in your present mind by giving them your attention and energy, letting them live rent-free in your head. In order to have presence, you have to be present and remember where you are and when you are. Then you will know who you are. Presence teaches that what you do today is important because you are trading a day of it for your life. The law of compensation. You can learn the law of compensation from the earth on whose skin we tread, whose trees we cut and burn, whose living wealth we exploit, going about our business without ever thinking of asking permission or giving thanks. The earth forgives us because she knows that we are flesh of her flesh. We are part of her that is still learning and growing. So I ask you this. If the earth can forgive you for your mistakes, can you not forgive yourself and offer others the same compassion? The time has come to understand that all of us, friends and adversaries alike, are doing the best we know how within the limits of our beliefs and capacity. The next one is the law of faith. The law of faith is about trusting the inherent love and intelligence working through you in all creation. You'll begin to see every difficulty as a test in order to instruct you. You'll find lessons and opportunities in every challenge. Faith is not a commodity that you own or possess. It's a divine order that pervades all things, the light behind your eyes, the loving and mysterious intelligence that emanates from the center of creation. Despite the challenges and tests confronting humanity, our world is in the hands of spirit, unfolding like a flower towards the light. The law of expectation. Before anything manifests in this world, it first appears as a thought or image in someone's mind. Your thoughts color the windows through which you see the world. Your beliefs become the building blocks of experience. In other words, every positive thought is a prayer, and every prayer is answered. Before you do anything, you have to believe it and really expect it. The law of expectation reminds you of your inherited power to shape your life through the images and expectations you create. The law of expectation teaches that what we focus on expands. Fighting problems only strengthens them by giving them energy. So focus on the solutions, not on the problems. The law of integrity. The law of integrity is about living in line with your highest vision, despite impulses to the contrary, about how you behave when no one is watching. If envy, greed, and manipulation influence our actions or expression, the consequences are inevitable. It is meaningless to speak of integrity until we understand our innermost drives, values, and motives, until we accept who we are rather than who we hope or pretend to be. I'm going to inject something here that I feel is an important fact. The sage said to the traveler, the author Dan Millman, speaking on integrity, the sage said, children have never been very good at listening to their parents, but they never fail to imitate them. The traveler, Dan, responds, I don't think you're just talking about children. Indeed not, the sage replies. We all influence one another by our example, and we all learn by imitation, whether or not we are conscious of it. We touch others not so much by what we say, but how we live. The law of action. No matter what we feel or know, no matter what our potential gifts or talents, only action brings them to life. Many of us understand concepts such as commitment, courage, and love, but we truly know only when we can do. Doing leads to understanding, and action turns knowledge to wisdom. This world is a realm of energy and action. No matter what you know or who you are, no matter how many books you have read or what your talents, only action brings potential to life. Philosophies impress and ideas abound, but words, no matter how elegant or cheap, it's easy to speak about commitment, courage, and love, but doing is understanding, and wisdom grows out of patience. The sage says to the traveler Dan, taking action has never been easy in this world. Forces of doubt and inertia are everywhere, even within our mind and body. Turning ideas into action requires energy, sacrifice, courage, and heart, because to act is to risk. We have to overcome all the good reasons to put it off, to let someone else do it, to remain in the easy chair of good intentions. But the law of action delivers the same message again and again. It is better to do what is best than not to do it and have a good excuse. The next one is the law of cycles. The law of cycles reminds us that as the seasons change, so must we. That our old habits don't have to run our lives, that our past doesn't have to become our future, and that the momentum of change ultimately leads us towards greater awareness, wisdom, and peace. And then we have the law of surrender. The law of surrender honors the sanctity of each soul with its divine spark of individuality. You need not give that up. You need only to get out of your own way. Surrendering your smaller will to a higher will is not a common practice because you rather do what you prefer. This is understandable. But life doesn't always give us what we prefer. So our desires lead to attachment, anxiety, and frustration. Following your small will may lead to temporary satisfaction, but not to lasting happiness. When you see clearly that life is not only getting what you want, but also about learning to want what you get, you'll align your life with the law of surrender. The sage speak, I acknowledge how difficult it is to surrender to life as it appears, to the greed, pain, and injustice in the world. In time, however, you will come to see everyone and everything as an aspect of spirit, accepting on faith that despite our difficulties, everything in the universe is unfolding as it must. Life is God's novel. Let God write it. The law of unity. The law of unity calls forth the great realization that we are not as separate as we appear to be, that we are actually one being, one consciousness. We are all one with the universe. The sage says to the traveler Dan, can you feel the truth of my words? Do you understand that you are the burning child in a war-torn village, and you are the pilot dropping the fire? That you are the mother and the newborn babe, the victim of brutal assault, and the rapist who commits the crime? All things done in the name of God or the devil you have done. The highest and most humble are you, wearing rags of torn cloth and robes of gold. You are in every act of kindness or cruelty, of cowardice or courage. Where goes the fool or the sage? and the creatures who walk or swim or fly. There go you. One and many, high and low, bitter and sweet. You are the earth above and below. Every now and then, take a good look at something not made with bands, a mountain, a star, the curve of a stream. There will come to you wisdom and patience, and above all, the assurance that you are not alone in this world. That's Sidney Lovett. Dan Millman is a former world trampoline champion, Stanford gymnast, coach, and Oberline College professor. His books have inspired millions of readers in 22 languages worldwide. Get the book, you know my thing. Learn the spiritual lessons and enjoy the reading. I'll see you at the top.